Hello model car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week I'm showing my completed build here of a 91 Mustang GT Convertible here. And this thing's a bit of a custom, as you can see right now. And I had a lot of fun doing it, just playing around and just having some fun with this. As you know, being a high school kid and graduating in 92, and being raised Ford and being a huge Mustang guy. I mean, I was all about Mustangs in high school. And it's kind of funny that, one of my real good friends, Matt, we met as sophomores in high school. And we'll get to that here in a minute. But I was a big time Ford fan and always bringing in magazines of muscle cars and Mustangs. And one of the ones I used to read a lot of was Fast Fords and Muscle Mustangs or something like that. And really enjoyed those. But I was all about Mustangs and that stuff back then. And I really wanted a 67 Mustang Fastback. That was my dream car. But I also really liked these because they were brand new at the time. And they were awesome. But I couldn't afford them. But one of our local dealers, gone by and, seen them on the lot and everything. And even back then, in 92 senior year, my good friend Matt, one of my best friends, his dad somehow was involved in the parade. And, the three of us, we went to, it was Sunset Ford at the time. And we picked up 3 brand new 92 Mustang convertibles. And we got to drive them in the parade. And his dad took the stick and I had a white automatic and Matt had a different color automatic, but all 3 of them were GT convertibles. And they were so much fun, but being responsible and, didn't want to do anything crazy because it wasn't mine. It was a brand new car. But, enjoyed cruising it around and everything, and had some queen of the parade in the back seat sitting on the boot and her boyfriend sitting in the passenger seat and talking. And it was just kind of fun. And, we had that. That was a neat little experience, but getting to drive a brand new one off the lot with literally no miles on it, that was a lot of fun. And she liked the white one. So, she picked the vehicle I was driving. So I ended up being in the front of the 3 of us. But that was a fun experience. But my friend Matt, he had a Chevelle. And at the time, I didn't know what a Chevelle was. So he's the one who introduced me to what a Chevelle was. I knew what Corvairs were. I knew what Corvettes were. And I knew what Camaros were. But didn't know much outside of that. And I was learning a lot of the Mopars, but, I was still learning back then, and my viewpoint was getting widened and everything. But I was doing a lot of models at the time, and me and him, we did some models together. So, we're still friends today, actually. But this, kind of reminded me of those times and everything. And I bought this as a rebuilder. I was looking at Mustangs, 2 years ago, I started picking up a bunch of these Fox body Mustangs. And you guys can see my stash ad videos going back that far. And, I picked some of them up because I built one back then. And I kind of was just reliving some of my model days. And so I picked it up, and it was about the same time as I had the 71 Boss 351 cars. And I had the damaged one. So I promptly cut, the hood apart to see if it would fit on this hood or if I could make this hood combo work. So I was kind of playing with it, and that was one of the things I did. But just kind of playing with it, having some fun. But this paint, it's amazing. So this is Scale Finishes version of the paint, but this is Mystic paint. And it was available on the Mustangs in 96 on the Cobra. And only the Cobra Coupe, not the Cobra Convertible. And not all of them, but a good chunk of them. But it was an extra cost option. And it's really cool, and it's some very flip-flop color shift paint. But it's quite interesting. But let's take this outside, and I'll show you it outside in the sunlight, spin it around, and we'll get back in here, and I'll show you more with the paint in here. So here we go. Well, here we are out in the Arizona sun, looking at my custom 91 Mustang here, painted in Mystic paint, the color shifting paint. That was available actually on the 96 Cobra. And this is definitely interesting. This color that can change from greens, browns, blues, orange, purple. Just love the way this came out. And this is scale finishes paint. I don't remember if I mentioned that. And real automotive clear coat, just really making this thing pop here. And look at that Celine wing, which is part of the 91 kit. And the taillights. Just love the way this came out. This was a fun build for me. Really enjoyed doing this. Took my time on it, just having a good old time with it. Man, look at that. Love how it just shifts colors. And the lighting really messes with it, so I'll have different lighting out here out in the sun, different angles, and then, you know, inside it's going to be completely different as well. So in case you're wondering, when I film this section, sometimes I do it ahead of time, sometimes I do it after, so don't really know which order, you know, it's going to appear or sound to you guys. But this thing, really like the way this looks. Look at that.
Nice.
One more loop around and then we'll head back inside and continue on. All right, there we go.
Bye.
All right, now I know that's sparkled, but in here, you know, I've got the lights on it, and you can see some of the color shift in it with these lights on, and you can see, like, you know, the purples and blues and browns, but that's with the spotlights on it. Watch this when I turn the lights off. Now it really brings out the greens, and you can see the purple and greens in it, and it just really, you know, how the camera picks it up, but you can really see the color shift in it now, especially the, you know, the greens and some of the yellows. But, you know, how do I film this? I don't know, but this thing, it was just so much fun to do, just kind of playing with it. Now the 91 kit did have this wing on it, the Celine style wing, and it was part of the kit. And that was one of the reasons why, you know, I was looking for a 91 kit. And they weren't expensive or anything, because I believe the 89 kit had this wing and so did the 91 kit. And so I was just keeping my eye open for it. And I found this one, it was a rebuilder, and it looked like it was pretty much all there. There was a couple pieces that seemed like it was missing, and a couple of things that, you know, it needed to be done. And it was kind of started too. I know the engine was glued together and some of those other parts, but not major. The body looked like it had some work done to it, but nothing bad. The front was glued onto it, and I had to redo the body work on it. But I figured I would just have some fun with it, a little bit of custom. And like I said a minute ago, it was the Boss 351 kit that had this hood. And so I was, you know, playing with the hood, and I knew back in the day, this was a fiberglass hood that was available on the Fox Body Mustangs. I always thought it was really cool, and if I had one of these Mustangs, I wanted this hood. Now, one of the other things I liked was, you know, it had all the GT stuff, those fog lights, the Celine wing, and even the Celine style wheels. Now, I picked up these wheels. They're resin, and they're from Lucas C Products. And here's the tag right there. And, you know, since he's local, I know him, but I still ordered it off of Andy's website to get them. Just easier to do that because Andy didn't have them in the store, but they're on his website and they were in his distribution system. So I ordered them that way to get them. And they fit these wheels perfectly. And of course, you know, I had a little bit of fun, painted them gold and clear coat. Then I foiled the trim ring to give them that look, and then made them fit. They pretty much fit the tires and everything. And then I lowered the stance a little bit. So this is lowered. And basically the oval part of it, where the pin goes in, I ovaled it to lower it. And real easy to do, so I didn't really lower the suspension, but I ovaled the holes that they go into to lower it. So that gave me the look I wanted there. And since I decided I was going to shoot the Mystic paint on there to see what it looked like, went with a little bit of the other details. Like I left the window frame painted body color, some of the other stuff that would be normally blacked, but you know, I did those in black and that. But like the 93 special edition cars, that was painted body color, and a lot of stuff back there was painted body color. So I kept it that way. And I also painted the convertible top white to go on it as well. So I got both the up top and the boot cover. But I was looking over the interior and just having a little bit of fun with it. And most of it's just paint and detail. But I did add the tack. Now I ended up buying a 90 Mustang drag car 5.0 LX. That's where these taillights came from. And believe it or not, there's no modifications. They literally just fit the body so nicely that all I had to do is put foil back there and put them on there, and they fit great. So I used the taillights from that kit. I used the tack from that kit. And the underside here, I actually used the rear sway bar from that kit, so I had a little bit of fun. Painted the sway bar red. Painted all 4 shocks red, just kind of for performance. Blech. And then the front sway bar I kind of painted red, even though most of it's not there. The motor is the kit issued motor, mostly. And then the full exhaust. And just blacked it all out, but came up really nice. Now the motor's far from stock. And I had a little bit of fun with that. So the block and pretty much the bottom half is the stock kit pieces. But you can see those Ford Racing valve covers. If you could see them there with the light, if I can really get it in there. But you have Ford Racing, and then the GT40 intake, the 5-liter Cobra intake right there, which is more like the GT40 intake and throttle body. That's all 3D printed, and that's from Texas 3D Customs. Same thing, I went to his website and I saw the whole motor, so I bought the whole motor. So I went there and picked that up, ordered that. I actually ordered 2 of them. I got another project that might use the same motor, but it was a little tight to get that fitting under the hood, so I had to shave some of it down, reuse the block, but I used his heads and his intake, and then the stock exhaust, manifolds, and all the rest of it's stock. Now this is the stock tube, but I cut the air filter off of it and decided I wanted to go with a K&N filter. So that's what I did there, and it's just all pretty much detail painting. So that was an eBay purchase, which was from this guy. It's kind of 3D printed, but Juan For You, that was just where I got them off of eBay. There's a couple more. It was a 3-pack, but ended up being the perfect size and everything and fit in there. But as I found out, once I put this hose in, I put the hose in first, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Now I got to feed that in from the backside and glue it in place. It worked. It still went in there, but it was one of those, once I glued it and got it together, I realized, wait a minute. The rest of it's all just detail painting, having fun with the headlights. Oh, and the Ford decals and some of the other decals in here all came from that 90 Mustang kit. So I had a lot of fun doing this one. It was just kind of taking it easy, getting it built, getting it lowered. And then, you know, the hood came out awesome. And even in primer, I was looking at it, I was like, wow. I left the underside alone. I didn't carve it up, which would have been easy to do because it's really thick. But that's only because it's got the 71's hood pretty much laid right on top of it, glued down and shaved a bit and blended in. But making the hood really wasn't that bad. I was kind of surprised. But, and she fits beautifully. So I love the way this one came out. And, you know, one of the few customs I've done, but being a Mustang, just kind of love these things, and would love to have one, of course, but, you know, along with everything else, if I could have the real car, I'd have the real car. And as it is, I've got over 300 built models and another 500. So if money was not an issue and space wasn't an issue, I'd make Jay Leno's garage look tiny. But I think all of us in scale, you know, would agree. And then, you know, I'll have to say Angelo's logo, Automotive Dreams in Scale. That's just, you know, that's perfect, even though it's not my logo. It's his mantra or everything. But anyway, that one will complete this one. But it was, you know, a very fun build for me. And I'm very, very happy with the way it came out. And I just wanted to show it to you with the lights off, you know, without some serious bright lights on it. Because it does change quite a bit when I put the spotlights on it. You know, it really brings out the dark purple color, but you can really see that shifting paint. But, you know, and being that you get so much paint, 2 bottles for the same price, I can still paint that 96 Cobra convertible. I want to do in Mystic, even though the color was not available on a convertible. But anyways, you guys, I thought this would be kind of a fun one to show you, and it was a fun one for me. I know it's a little newer than what most of my audience falls into, but I'm just having some fun. And this was a great project. But anyway, you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.